Hello to my wonderful new sixth graders. Today we are going to learn about a handful of things today. But don't worry, it'll be fun. I'll make it fun for you. Alright, first step. Let's make this short and sweet. Alright? When we're playing instruments, there are a number of things you need to know. Alright? Number one, you need to know how to sit. Yeah, I said it. You need to know how to sit. There's a specific way of sitting. And the reason why is when we're playing our wind instruments, we want to get optimal airflow in and out. And if you're not sitting properly, you are not going to get that. And we want the best sound coming out of the horn. So you need to make sure you know how to sit. So that is what I will demonstrate for you, okay? So we have ourselves a regular chair here. Now what you want to make sure you do is when you sit down, you don't want to be hunched back, how more than half of you probably sit like that because let's face it, it's pretty comfortable, right? I mean, just sitting like this, it's pretty comfortable, but it's horrible for playing. Not to mention, that's not very good for your back either. Now second, you don't want to be all the way to the front of the chair where you literally fall off. We wouldn't want that either, Those instruments are expensive. We don't need them getting damaged, and I don't want you getting damaged either. You need to take care of yourself. So, we want to be right in the middle, okay? So, you're going to be right there with your back straight. You want your shoulders nice and relaxed and back. Take a couple breaths in and out. And just be relaxed. Now, another thing you want to make sure is you want to make sure your feet is planted on the ground. Nothing funny with the feet, alright? You want to make sure it's about a hips width apart. Whatever seems the most comfortable for you really, but a hips width apart is pretty comfortable for majority of people. Now that is going to depend on the instrument. But for the trombone, that is about what you want to have. And you want to sit perfectly in front as such. Alrighty. And that's the first step to it. So now I want you guys to make sure you hit pause on that video and you practice how to sit. So I will let you guys pause now. Okay, I'm assuming you guys did what I told you to do, so now we can go on to the next step. So the next step is you need to know how to open your case. It's crucial you know how to open your case because, like I said, they are very expensive instruments, and we want to make sure we are taking care of them. And the last thing we want is a trombone clattering against the ground, making a bunch of noises. It's pretty embarrassing too. We wouldn't want that happening, Everybody else is taking out their instruments, and you take it out wrong and it makes all this noise. We wouldn't want the spotlight on you for the wrong reasons. So, anyways, on a case, you have the bottom, you have the top where the handle is, and you have the logo on the side. You want to make sure you place your case on a flat surface. Yeah, a flat surface with the handle on the top. I would assume a lot of this is self-explanatory, but I will go through the steps. So, you want to make sure it is flat on the ground, and you slowly take out the zipper or the latch. If you have latches, your latches will be on top, and you'll just lay it out. And so that is how you take out the case and how to open your case. When it's finished, you'll have a finished product that'll be laying down on the ground as such. So, I will allow you all now to pause your video and practice opening your case. Okay, so I'm assuming you did as I have asked and you have practiced opening your case. So the next part is kind of silly when I say it at first in your head, but trust me, it's important. So we are gonna learn how to breathe. Yeah, I know. You're probably thinking, come on, Mr. Alam, I know how to breathe. Why would you teach me how to breathe? Like, I'm alive right now, so I'm obviously breathing, right? Well, if you said that, you're right, you do know how to breathe. But there's a specific way of breathing when you're playing a wind instrument, because we want the best quality of air and the best amount of air traveling through the horn in the most efficient way. And the way to get that is to breathe properly. And so let me teach you guys how to breathe properly. So imagine this. When you're going to the doctor, you know, they have the stethoscope and they put it on your chest in certain areas. They're like, all right, breathe for me. And then you just breathe whichever way you want to, right? Well, it's similar to that, except when you're breathing to play a brass instrument, we want to fill up our entire stomach, actually. Yeah, I know, the stomach. You don't actually breathe from up here. You can, but it would sound forced as such. Watch this. See? That didn't sound very good, did it? Sound like I was frightened. But if you breathe from your stomach, from the bottom, you see how it just expanded like that? That is what you want to get when you're breathing. You want to get that nice, deep breath. You want to think deep when you're taking a breath. And you want to maintain that same posture the way I was sitting before. You want to maintain that posture of sitting, because that's the best way for air to make it up through the stomach, through the lungs, to the mouth. That is the most efficient way to breathe. So, what you want to think about is your stomach expanding and the air just going straight through. And you want to have a deep breath, and it should sound pretty deep as well. If you sound shallow or your shoulders rise up, then you're not doing it right. You want to make sure this upper body is nice and relaxed, shoulders tucked back, sitting up tall. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you breathe. So, I want you to practice how to breathe. Alright, pause the video and give it a shot. Alright, I'm assuming you have done that. And the next step is mouthpiece placement. So, something I want you guys to know is for the mouthpiece, okay? When you hold it, you want to hold it toward the bottom with the thumb at the bottom and 2 fingers on top, as such. Next, we all have different faces. Let's face it. If we all looked the same, life would be pretty boring, right? Well, on the bright side, we don't. So that means we all have different faces, which means this mouthpiece is gonna go on a different part of the face or of the mouth for each individual person. And that's what I'm gonna show you guys here today. So, the mouthpiece could either go to the bottom, so your lips will be toward the bottom, toward the middle, or toward the top. Okay? Let me show you guys that again. Okay, so your lips could either go toward the bottom, toward the middle, or toward the top. And we're going to figure out where is best for you. Okay, so remember when I taught you guys how to breathe properly before? What I want you guys to do now is experiment with putting this toward the bottom. So just create an M, okay? So the first thing is you want to just say the letter M, M. And then put that M to the bottom of the mouthpiece. Take a breath and blow. All right. Now we'll create the M again and we'll blow through the middle. M. Lastly, we'll create the M and blow through the top. Now you've felt the M go through all the three different parts of the mouthpiece. The low, the mid, and the high part. Now, something that you do with brass instruments is you actually buzz to create a sound. So when you blow, your lips will actually vibrate against each other and they will buzz. So the sound you'll get, if you're doing it properly, is this. Yeah, pretty cool, right? We actually buzz in these things. So the way you create that is basically you want to imagine that you're doing this in the mouthpiece. Yeah, you're buzzing your lips together. But the way you want to think about that is you're just blowing air and your lips will naturally buzz together. You don't want to force the buzz in the mouthpiece. That is the trick. So now we are going to practice how to make your first buzz on the mouthpiece. But before that, I want you guys to take one more time to blow air through the three areas of the mouthpiece. So please pause your video and do just that. Alright, I'm assuming you guys did that. So now we are on to the final part, and that's buzzing. So, you want to have the mouthpiece in your hand, like so. Remember, 2 fingers on top, thumb on bottom. Sit up tall, like we talked about with your posture on how to sit. How to breathe. Create the M, M, and we're going to buzz in the lower portion of the mouthpiece. Alright, next we will follow the same on the middle part of the mouthpiece. And finally, the top part. Now that you've done all that, whichever felt the most comfortable for you, where it created the best sound for you and allowed you to get the most air through for you, is exactly where you should place the mouthpiece. So take a couple minutes experimenting with that, and that is how you make the first sounds on your mouthpiece. Thank you.